me what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Coop from Telepathic Bunny Comics. T-Bunny if you're nasty. And today, I just wanted to do a quick review of the best book I've ever gotten out of CG so far. I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm going to show you why I believe so. First of all, the packaging. I got this big old flat piece of cardboard, okay? And look how thick it is. It's very simple. It has like a press down part at the back and tape up the ends. One's taped down the middle. Now it's hard to get into, but once I got into it, everything was just neat, packed away, and perfect. I have a OCD housemate who took one look at it, and he said it looked like IKEA packed it, which for him was a compliment. You would have to know him. He's very crazy. Anyway, but what I found inside was I found this packet. I had like all the extra stuff in it, including a refrigerator magnet of the ginger root hand, the infamous ginger root hand. It's on my refrigerator right now. But this was like little mini posters. Really cool on cardstock. 3 of them. They're pretty nice size. He had some smaller posters and some other knickknacks in there that were part of stretch goals. This poster, okay, look how flat that is, guys. Flat. No creases. It's in a sleeve. Brilliant. Okay. Mel B, Michael's wife, did all this. She is a packing wizard. She really is. And you all should probably find yourself a French woman to do your packing for you, because she was a genius. Okay. I don't know if it's a French thing, but it certainly is a Mel B thing. She's amazing. How did she wind up with Michael Bancroft? Oh well, there's hope for all of us, guys. Hope for all of us. Okay. Anyway, for all the ways I poke holes in Michael Bancroft with the big forehead and all the craziness that we always joke with him about. This. And the supplemental preview. Let me pull it out here. I have read through this multiple times now, trying to find a flaw. Trying to find a flaw in characterization, trying to find a flaw in plot, trying to find a flaw in artistic vision. I can't. I am a little bit of a stickler, and I can usually poke holes in just about anything. I couldn't find anything wrong with this. The reason why, okay, is not that it's the most perfect comic book I've ever seen. It kind of is, but because this was one man's vision from start to finish. And this is elegant. This is tight. And this is perfect. Okay? Look at this back. Oh, there's only one image on it. Oh, he could have put this big old splash with all this stuff and all this art. No. He chose to do the little bit of a synopsis and a wing that shows up. And the cover is just the top and Ella, the famous Ella image. And inside looks like cuneiform, but it's kind of got that dark blue, lighter blue contrast. And over here, is a quote by Milton. That's all that's on there. And he signed it, Michael Bancroft, with that chromium pen that he's really impressed with. And you know what? Look at that. Look at that signature. Let me look at it. I'm impressed with it, after seeing that. But this is the quote. What in me is dark, illumine. John Milton. And it's just simple. Look how simple that is. Simple, elegant, effective. Okay? And it just starts out somewhere else. It's not in London. It starts out with this man and his son. And then it just goes from there. You never really learn much about it. You never really know what the significance is. But it's just this, it fits. It fits. And then you go into a desperate man. But look how simple. You see? You see a lot of exposition there. You see a lot of text. You see a lot of explanation. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you're in the story. And just something simple as the watch in the rain. Look at that. Watching that rain. Isn't that cool? But with the rain and everything. And then he just meets mysterious people. And oh, by the way, the hand is fixed. That's the hand. And it is fixed. Bless his heart. Man, he just went with it. He just went with it. But I mean, just these simple, elegant images. Look at it. Man in the rain. Staring up. But it's the most intimidating thing. They're terrified of him, and you don't know why, but it's terrifying. And he doesn't have devil horns. He doesn't have spikes. He doesn't have fire and flames warping around him. You just know this is a bad guy. But he doesn't force it. He doesn't force it. I mean, things is, she does some incredible things, and then boom, she wakes up. And you never get an explanation. Is it real? Is he just dreaming it? Is it real? What? And he even gets the black girl with the half haircut. You're like, the typical SJW character. But she's actually got depth to her. She's actually got a purpose. She's actually got rather flamboyant boyfriend. Anyway, won't go into that. But, and then she, nice little elegant. The thing I'm trying to emphasize here is look at the color palette. With Michael, the way he did this, the color palette was as important as the art. And he sets the mood. If he's looking for intimacy, like in this, it's lit by candle. It's lit by lamps. It's this moment between this man who raised her, and he's obviously ailing, and he's giving her secrets away, and there's this intimacy to it, and he does it with that. And look at the difference. She goes to her bedroom, and it's brightly lit. You see the transition? This is all thought of. And then this is really spectacular, okay? The blue, but then he has a vision of a man who's made of fire. Just look at that. Everything is deliberate. Everything is thought through. Everything is taken care of. It's buttoned up. The dialogue is minimalist. And One other trick he does, okay? You have to pay attention to the panels because when he wants to emphasize something, he will use a different color. He'll make a more intense color, or he'll do something very subtle. This is not very subtle, but you can see. Look at the Roman soldiers with their red capes. And when they kill people, blood is red. This is all thought through. This is all taken care of. This is all buttoned up. Then we're back, Okay, now, I did an early review of a very famous comic skater. Well, he doesn't claim to be Comic Skate, but everyone in Comic Skate knows of him or knows, or has watched his show. And he still has a lot of clout. And he put out a book, and I got it. And it had a poster that was folded in the middle, had a big crease in it. And the package had another book with it written by Mike Baron. And that's the book I'll reread. The other one, the one that Chuck, he had another writer helping with. I could tell he wrote most of it because the characters were just throwaways. They were just throwaways. He has this thing where he just like kills his characters off. I don't know why he does that, but you don't really care about the character, so it's fine. But this right here, let me read this to you. This page right here, this is after the story, okay? This is what sets this apart. As a writer, crafting fully realized, believable characters is my top priority. One of the best ways I've found to achieve that is by simply talking to them outside of any plot or continuity constraints. I find that if I've done my job well, they'll surprise me with the curveballs I never see coming. Since the character bios aren't a good fit for this story, I thought I'd share some examples of these conversations with you here. I hope you gain some insight to my writing process and get to know a little more about the world of the Lucent. I do this myself. I try to create characters that have such an inner world and have such a depth to them that I can have conversations with them and not know what they're going to say. That's hard to do. It takes a lot of forethought and a lot of dwelling with these characters. And he has actual interviews with his characters. Actual interviews. And they were very insightful. But some of them weren't very cooperative. Look at this one. Look how ticked off he is to be questioned. That's perfect. I mean, it's perfect for that character, but it's like, the animals are taking over the zoo or something. I love it. I love it. Miss Bisexual, haircut. She gets an interview, and has a lot more depth than you think. And it's really fascinating. But the important thing that I want to get across, the reason why I think this is the best book I've gotten, is because of what he did to get it to the finishing line. Here's a man who has dwelt with this comic for years, okay? This has been on his back burner for years. He's been working on it. He tried to put it out in webtoons. He gets jokes about that all the time. But this is somebody who really dwelt in this world a long time. So what did he do? All the art was done. He did his own lettering. What did he do? He found an editor. Joe Thunderbuns Fulton. And he had him crawl through it. He had him kill his darlings. He had him tell him that this needs to go, or this needs to go in another book. This doesn't belong here. And he got Eric Weathers to go back through his lettering and perfect it. This was already done. This was already ready to send to print vial. And he said, pull it off the queue, send it to add this other people in to look at it and go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And you can tell this is elegance. It's perfection. My opinion. But this has been combed through. This has been obsessed over. Every color choice, every lighting effect, every focus, every bit of dialogue, even every box of explanation. He really doesn't dumb anything down. I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of this book, I still pretty much don't have a clue. I really don't have a clue of what the Lucent is or anything like that. He doesn't explain it, really. But you know what? If you're going for the answers, but you know what? Even if I didn't learn what I wanted to learn, even if they didn't have it spelled out for me, I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I'm still going to have to look for it. But this is an experience. This is what we can do that Marvel and DC cannot. Marvel and DC, big corporation, bunch of artists, bunch of inkers, bunch of colorists, bunch of well, they don't have editors. They just have a bunch of woke tards. But they've got a bunch of people that these things pass through their hands. And because of that, you can't get these singular visions. You can't get these elegance of art, elegance of color, elegance. I mean, even as a writer, like with Monster MD, you can take a writer and take one artist, the right artist, because he had it redrawn, because he didn't have the right artist. But he found the right artist, and he put out just about a perfect book. One vision. One person with one vision can do something incredible. We can do something incredible. So, if anybody watches this that has a book in production, take Michael Bancroft's example. Not with haircut, not with, blouses, but take what he did with his book, okay? Have an editor look at it. A good editor. They're not expensive. And follow their advice. Don't argue with them the whole entire way, because they're going to work for you. But find an editor. Or find another reader. Find another set of eyes to look at it. And they will see things that you can't see. It took Michael months. With as perfect as it was to start with, it took him months to tweak, to adjust, and to get it to the point where Joe Fulton said, "You've got it. It's ready to go." And you know what? You can tell this is good. I would even call it great. This is awesome. Okay? Of course, I'm a writer, so the art's going to be sufficient enough for you art snobs or whatever. I think art is awesome too, but the art tells the story just as much as the words tells the story. This is a graphic novel, and it's a good one. But anyway, right now I'm just pretty much going on and on, saying the same thing. But back to Lucent. If you haven't, you will thank me. But that is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Y'all have a nice day.
Tell me what's on your mind.